Hey, what's going on, guys? Tony here with another episode of Tony's Take. This one I'm doing completely off the cuff, as most of these are done off the cuff. And as this is a new show, I'm still experimenting with things. So this is not a review, but I'm talking about a specific game instead of like a news thing that's happening. I want to talk about Firewatch. I just finished the game right now, and yeah, I got some thoughts that may not be exactly aligned, not only with the review on our site done by my good friend Charles, but with most of the gaming sites, which seem to have given it a pretty high score. I don't know about that. I'm more in line with Carl. I was about to say Carl Banks. Carl from our site and stuff. It is Carl Banks. I'm gonna have to look up his last name. Anyway, Carl from the Koalition, he wrote a editorial, listing 10 things he hated about the game, right? Charles, on the other hand, gave it a 98. 98, that's almost a perfect game, right? I lean towards more where Carl's coming from, but I would still place myself in the middle with this game, right? If I were to score it, I would give it a 6 out of 10. This is why. And it's not for the reasons you may think, by the way, because I know you probably think, oh, Tony, you don't like it because it's a quote-unquote walking simulator. That wasn't even an issue for me. As a matter of fact, this game, unlike Gone Home, which I played, which I thought was not a very good game, it is a game. You go out on missions, you traverse, there's some light platforming going on. There's even a little bit of Metroid stuff going on because, you see certain areas and you could traverse them later after you get certain equipment. So it is a game, right? In that regard, it is totally a game, which is fine. My biggest issue, and I'm just going to come out and say it, is the dialogue, which is ironic because that's the thing everybody seems to love. Like, oh my God, the dialogue in this is so amazing. It's good. It is actually, okay, let me just say this. It is actually very, very good dialogue. It's well written, well delivered, a lot of emotion. Yes, it is. Problem is, this game takes place in 1989, and the only two people that you hear talking in this game are both in their 40s. They don't sound like 40-year-olds from the 80s. They sound like 20-year-olds from 2016. It's not exactly the things they say. They don't use any modern vernacular or anything. It's the way they speak, the wittiness of it. Like, it's weird to kind of explain, but if you hear the game, you know what I'm talking about. They have this really witty banner that people didn't do back in the 80s. Go watch any movie from the 80s, any TV show, any talk show. You can just tell, like, okay, the dialogue, that they used to use, it's not the dialogue these guys are using. And I'm not speaking about from a media standpoint. I'm 36 years old. I lived in the 80s. I was in the 80s, most of the 80s. I only missed 1 month and 15 days. I was around during the 80s. I know how people talk. People didn't talk the way they talk in this game. So even the first 5 minutes I'm playing, I'm like, what is up with this dialogue? Like, I'm expecting a girl to go OMG, LOL, Firewatch, hashtag, stuff like that. I'm like, whoa, what is up with this weirdo dialogue? And it just kept on like that the entire time. So I'm like, I don't know. I think the voice director should have been like, hey guys, check out some 80s movies, talk the way they talk. And the writer too should have cut down on some of that witty banner and just played it like it was the 80s, so that's probably my main gripe with it. A lot of people have been complaining about the ending. They felt it was a big letdown. I don't see what the letdown was. It ended the way I kind of expected it to end. I don't understand why people are kind of beefing. I think they were expecting something and they didn't get it, so they're disappointed. My thing is, I already kind of knew, given the nature of the story, which was already kind of mundane, that the ending would be kind of mundane too. And it was. At the end of it, I'm not going to spoil anything, obviously, but at the end of it, everything got solved. That's it. You're done. I don't know what people were expecting. And, those are probably the main things that I do want to say. The reason I would give it a 6 out of 10, because it really should be a 5 out of 10. It's a very middle of the road game. There's nothing really special about it, except that art. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at this video you've been watching here. Unlike my other, Tony's Takes, this is actually appropriate video for the subject hand. Look at this game. Look at this game. It is gorgeous. It is beautiful. Ali Moss, I believe, is the name of the guy who did the art for this. He did some minimalist kind of posters. Fantastic, beautiful work. So this whole game permeates with that, which I like, you know. So that's, you know, I'm like, okay, let me give it 1 extra point because it looks really beautiful. But, you know, but since we're talking about graphics, right, I do want to point out the fact that the main dude, I think he's proportioned like a midget or something. It's just really weird. Like, I appreciate the fact that you can actually see his legs and arms, but it's like, yo, my man, are you Popeye? Like, what is up with your arms right now? And if you ever seen that video that Kotaku put up of what the game looks like in third person, you see that he's just really weirdly proportioned. You know, like, I'm kind of glad. I was about to spoil something. I'm not gonna do it, but yeah, he's just. I'm guessing other characters in this game are weirdly proportioned too. And I don't want to keep this video going too long, but yeah, Firewatch. Yeah, it was overhyped. You know, actually, here's the other thing I want to bring up, and this is just me, maybe being a bit of an asshole, but whatever. I think this is a case of modern journalists, right? You know, hipster kind of journalists, just kind of going with the train. It's like, hey, all our buddies like this game, we gotta like it too. Or maybe they do like it, you know, I don't know, but it just feels like they're not being very genuine about it. Not talking about you, Charles, if you're watching this. Not talking about you. I totally trust your review of it. These other guys, I don't know, I think they may be bandwagon. That's the word I'm looking for. They're hopping on the bandwagon. And I'm just gonna throw this little insult in there, knowing video game journalists as I know them. I think a lot of these guys not only like this game, but walking simulators, quote unquote walking simulators, because they're easy and they don't take long. A lot of these guys are not very skilled, so they probably are just happy to just walk from point A to point B and just be done with it. You know. But yeah, that's it, man. Firewatch, I say skip it. Like, when it goes to $5, pick it up because it looks really beautiful. But do not buy this game. $20, way overpriced. Way overpriced. Don't do it, people. Alright, so that is it. I'll see you next time with another Tony's Take. See ya.